Hello there. Welcome to English 122. My name is Cody Mullins and I'm your instructor for this course. If you haven't already, I'd encourage you to go and read the welcome announcement that I posted in our course. Today, what I'm going to be doing is previewing week 1 or module 1 for us in English 122. A little bit about me. I live in Windfall, Indiana, which is sort of a north central farming community in Indiana. I teach full-time at Ivy Tech Community College in Kokomo, Indiana, which is just down the road. I've lived here in the state for about 11 years. I've taught composition for almost 13 years at this point, and I've been with Southern New Hampshire since January of 2014. So I am approaching my 8th year teaching here, and it's really, really great to meet all of you, at least virtually. And if you ever have questions about any of the coursework as you maneuver through the course, please do not hesitate to email me. There are no stupid questions. I know people say that a lot, but my goal is for you all to feel comfortable, to feel as if you have a voice in this process, and to help accommodate the best educational experience that I can for you. So my email address is located here, c.mullins@snhu.edu. A couple other things about my course policies. So I accept late work without penalty. Now that doesn't encourage you to not do anything for the entirety of the semester, but it should at least take the burden away from knowing that you won't be penalized for late work as you submit it during the course of the semester. I understand that things happen. 8 weeks is not a lot of time. Sometimes we either need a break, or sometimes something cataclysmic happens in our lives. You don't need necessarily to tell me the reasons why. You are free to if you need some extra time, that sort of thing. The only thing that you will, I suppose, be subjugated to a late penalty are the discussion posts, which I'll talk about that in a little bit. We only have discussion boards where you interact with your classmates 2 weeks out of the entire semester. One of them is this week in week 1, and the other is week 7 when you are discussing your revision process as we start writing our essay. So again, only 2 weeks for discussion boards. The rest of the weeks you're only doing self-contained and sort of self-modulated work on your own. All right, so this is what our course looks like from the homepage. I will post 2 to 3 announcements each week located here that you can kind of come and check. Probably do a video preview each week, and then I will kind of give you some reminders or some pointers each week. The first few weeks I will probably have more than the remaining weeks. Some of the weeks are a little lighter than others. But from our course menu, how you navigate around the course, you'll click course menu up here, and you'll go into learning modules. Everything that you need to do for this course is located here. And once you're here, you can click onto you can do the start here, and then if you want to pre-select as you go through the modules, we're going to start with module 1. That's where we begin. And the way that you kind of navigate through all of the weeks of the course is through this screen. You'll go and select the module appropriate to the week that we're on, and then you'll click on the module itself. And it'll open up all the necessary readings and assignments for you. So for this specific week, as you see in our drop-down menu, we have some videos for you to take a look at, and specifically our first discussion board, which asks you to introduce yourself to begin with, sharing where you're from, your major, what your educational goals are here, anything else you're comfortable discussing. And then what the main crux, I don't want you to forget this because this is the majority of the work here, is you're going to consider a time in your life when you had to look at something a little closer to make sense of it. A lot of people have chosen in the past to write about spending habits, for instance, or how to purchase a new home, or something that's gone wrong at work. Whatever your specific problem or issue might be, consider a time when you had to take a look at it a little bit closer, that way to make sense of it. Keep in mind that for this, I would like you to, in addition to your introduction, you need to write 2 fully developed paragraphs. So you'll end up for this initial post probably submitting 3 paragraphs, The first being your introduction, where you're introducing yourself to me and your classmates, and then 2 full paragraphs when you're explaining this time when you had to take a closer look and the lessons that you learned from it. After you've done that, and I should say, our first deadline for the semester is Thursday night by 11:59. You need to have posted that initial post. You don't have to have replied to your classmates or done the larger assignment by then. But the one thing you need to do is to have this initial post with these 3 paragraphs posted. That way that your classmates and I have a chance to respond to you, give you feedback, and engage in conversation with you. Once you've done that, you'll have until Sunday night, the final deadline. And most of our deadlines are Sunday night. Again, the only thing that will be a Thursday night deadline are these initial posts of discussion boards. And again, this is one of only 2 that you will do, the second one being in week 7. By Sunday, you'll want to reply to 2 peers with 1 fully developed paragraph each at minimum. And you can respond to these questions here. What is your reaction to the way they made sense of something in their life? Would you have done the same thing, or would you approach it differently? In other words, you're just trying to engage in conversation. You can ask questions to sort of further their conversations as well. As you check down through here, everything that I grade for you will have a rubric attached to it. So you will always be able to see exactly what I'm looking for. And if you're failing at something in the process, you'll know exactly where you've made a mistake. So that's where it goes here. And you will create a thread by clicking new thread, and then typing a subject. It can be just the title or the response or your name or whatever you want to do. Your name will post automatically. You don't have to put your name on this. And then you'll type your paragraphs directly in here, and then clicking post after you're done. So that's the first assignment. The second assignment that you will do this week by Sunday night is a quiz, and this will be asking you to answer some questions to select our reading. The reading that you'll select here will be the work that you use for the rest of the semester. You're going to write a long form essay broken up into many parts that we're going to spend each unit spending some time developing. So in other words, this is a very important decision. You're going to select a reading that hopefully you connect with on some way. The way that you get to that quiz is you click on this big question mark, and it opens up the questions here, and you will go through and select the appropriate answers. After you're done there, you click the next button, and that will lock in after you've selected all of the answers 1 through 4, you can select next, and that will lock in your quiz grade. It is basically a completion grade. You do the work and you get the points. And finally, the last assignment and the major assignment for this week, due Sunday night as well, like the quiz, is your writing notes. So you're going to click on the title, whichever one that your quiz asked you to decide to choose. Mother Tongue by Amy Tan, Me Talk Pretty One Day by David Sedaris, or Some Lessons from the Assembly Line by Andrew Braxma. All 3 of these are really engaging and interesting stories in their own right. And keep in mind that this will be the work that you utilize for the remainder of the semester. So make sure you like it. And if you don't like it, even if your quiz let's say the quiz spits out and says you should read Mother Tongue, and you read it and you don't like it, go for something else, right? The quiz is not binding, I suppose. No one's going to check to make sure you selected the right thing. You can pick any of these you wish. The quiz is merely meant to sort of guide you towards something you might like, okay? So for this one, you're going to type on a Microsoft Word document and then submit the file. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. But you're going to literally read the article that you've chosen, and then respond to these prompts. All right, so you're going to answer these questions. You're going to write at least 3 sentences in response to 2 through 4. Obviously, for number 1, you're just literally listing the article in the title, so you can't write 2 to 3 sentences there, or 3 sentences there. But questions 2 through 4 should be responded with at least 3 sentences. You can certainly write more than that and make them full paragraphs, but that's kind of the way it works. You're going to save your work in a Microsoft Word document. You want to make sure that it is double spaced. that you are using 12-point Times New Roman font, and that you have 1-inch margins. All of those are pre-selected generally on your computer. And then make sure you're doing a spell and grammar check. Okay, and then once you've proofread it, you want to submit it via the Module 1 1.7 writing notes link in Brightspace. Before I show you how to do this, again, this is the rubric that I will be grading with, that I will be giving you feedback on. For each of the assignments, I will be clicking where you fall in each element, and then I will be providing richer feedback for each of those elements for all of the major assignments this term. Okay, so you submit this assignment via Brightspace. So that's going to mean backing back out of the module. So we're going to close that. We're going to go over here back to learning modules, or you could click assignments. We'll do assignments just to do a fun different trick, right? Clicking on the appropriate assignment. Well, this is just for me, sorry. You're going to go through learning modules, click on the assignment for number 1, and then there will be a place for you to upload it here. All right, so that's essentially all there is for week 1. After you've completed that, by Sunday, you're done. If you have any questions as you go along, please do not hesitate to send them to me, to email me. I check my email pretty regularly, and I will get back to you no longer than 24 hours. I'll get back to you within a full day. Unless it's over the weekend, it might be 36, but generally I check my email every day. All right, so that's it. I hope you all have a great start of the semester, and I look forward to engaging with all of you this term.